What's good, y'all? So now it's time to talk about top 100 true freshmen, man. Via obviously Hayes Foster did not put this together as he's made in his comments. So let me go out there and say that this is via College Football Network, but he made the graphic for it, which he did a pretty good job of, obviously. But let's just break down this list, man. I want to get your honest thoughts. I think they cooked for a good bit of this. Some of it is kind of questionable. But they did cook with number one, right? When we look at Jeremiah Smith and what he's been able to accomplish over the course of his career, early as a freshman, already making more money than Brandon Marshall, on the field had that epic catch in that Notre Dame game that sealed the victory for them, ended any chance that the Fighting Irish had of winning. Had one of his best games against the number one team in the country. Cooked Oregon, 7 catches, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, number one team in the country in the college football playoff, right? Kid's a stud, over 1,500 yards receiving this year, 15 touchdowns, and now his former wide receiver coach will be his offensive coordinator, Brian Hartline. Hey, man, kid's a stud, bro. Definitely deserves that number one spot. Next up, Dylan Stewart, another stud with South Carolina. No Kyle Kennard next year, so next year we'll see what jump he could take forward, but definitely think he deserves to be in the top 5 of this list. I think he absolutely balled out. 2 is a little high for me. You know what I'm saying? I would put him more down towards like 4 or 5. But I do think he did cook this year, and he will be a prospect to continue to watch. One thing I do love to see is that Cole Persh is getting his love from Minnesota. Underrated guy, but obviously getting some love on this list, man. 46 tackles this past season, 5 interceptions, a forced fumble. That's how you get it done, man. Doesn't get a lot of love, but I'm glad that he's getting love on this list, man. Well deserved, definitely deserves to be on top. And obviously Colin Simmons, man. The season he had with Texas, I really think he's one of the best edge rushers coming back next year. I would put him in that top tier. We're going to see between him and obviously Dylan Stewart, who's going to have that mantle when it's said and done in the SEC. But when you look at Colin Simmons, be a freshman and have that kind of an impact on the Texas team that made it to the semifinals. Yeah, he deserves his flowers, man. He got more and more playing time as the season wore on, and he was really their go-to pass rusher. Next up, Ryan Williams, man. Nothing else needs to be said about him, man. That kid is a stud, bro. Like, just roll the tape of the Georgia game, man. What he did to that defense and cooked them. Something special. Single-handedly practically won them the game, especially at the end when Georgia got back into it and took the lead. Like, that's how you get it done. He's going to be special to watch this year. Jeremy Bernard coming back another year. It'll be interesting to watch them. New quarterback at the helm, Austin Mack, Ty Simpson, or Keelan Russell. Brian Simmons, that dude. Next up, man, a great sight to see KJ Bolden. I actually got a chance to interview him in high school, man. And kid's something special, man. Very humble. Just does the work, man, and got a lot of time at the star position this year for Georgia. Played all over the field. Could tell they trust him. And what was so cool was coming into the season, they even said he was leaps and bounds ahead of Malachi Starks when he was a freshman. That says a lot. Kirby Smart doesn't, mince his words lightly. And that showed this year, man. And KJ going to have the keys to the car of that Kirby Smart defense next year. And I can't wait to see what he does. Next up, I do want to mention Sammy Brown, man. All ACC selection. He was a stud out here, also in Georgia, from Jefferson High School. Outstanding player, man, here. Just love to see him, same kind of thing. Similar story towards, Colin Simmons, right? Just, didn't start the season as a starter, but as the season wore on, just kept getting better. Daily deposits. And next thing you knew, man, he was flying around to the ball. Some injuries helped that, him getting in there. And he took full advantage of the opportunity. Was all ACC selection. Can't wait to see what he's going to do this next year, man. He should be elite. Keyword, elite. Can't wait to see what he does. All right, so I had to spend a lot of time on the top 10, but let's go to the rest of the list. I'll probably spend a little bit less time just pointing out some key players on each list. DJ Lagway, man, y'all know how I feel about him. I really think he's going to be that next guy up. I think he's going to take a big jump forward for the Florida Gators next year. They surrounded him with the talent. I like what Coach Napier is doing for his recruiting. Accurate deep ball thrower. Again, just has to take that step forward with the short and intermediate. I think he will. Florida is my surprise pick for next year. Should be a lot better team. Cam Coleman, another stud, man. Go look at the one-handed catches he had. I know you're going to be like, oh, well, look at the competition he played. Hey, man, NCAA Division I football is Division I football. Just get that man a quarterback. They got to figure that out with Ashton Daniels, Jackson Arnold, and obviously Deuce Knight. But you get that man a quarterback, he going to make you look good. He's that special. Next up, underrated pick, C.J. Hurd, man. He was special for Florida Atlantic this year, man. He really did his thing, man, and showed it don't matter where you go. And it was so crazy because at one point he was a 4-star rated here in the state of Georgia. And then, I don't know what happened. Ended up being a 3-star, had to sign late, and ended up going to Florida Atlantic. But this shows you, man, when you put your head down, you work, you grind, you can get them type of results, man. So super excited, happy with his play and how he performed on that football field. He was something special. Next up, Jordan Seaton. I thought he had a pretty good freshman year for Colorado, obviously coming back. And everybody questioned his decision coming out of high school. 5-star, it was like, what is he doing? Why is he going to Colorado? oh, he's undecided, he might flip. And he had a great year. And that's what Deion shows. Deion shows if you can play, even if you're a freshman, you'll get on that football field for him and play. So I thought he had a pretty good year, got better again. Another one of those guys got better as the season wore on. And he going to be something special moving forward, man. As long as he continues to work, grind, he could be a first-round draft pick in a couple drafts from now. All right, now this one is loaded. So many good players, man. Boo Carter, man. Yo, bro, the way he plays football, man. My gosh, Tennessee got a steal, bro. They got a dude on their hands in Boo Carter, man. I love watching his film. Something special. Xavier Brown took some steps forward. He was big in that Georgia game, getting that interception to pretty much end it. Can't wait to see the step he takes forward, obviously, for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And then I want to put out Caden Durham. He's the key, right? When we look at LSU in the season they won the national championship, it's been a while. We know it was, obviously 2019. I get it. Y'all not wrong. But they had a really good running back room, especially with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He reminds me a little bit of him, his stature and size and what he can do, his versatility. He's going to be a guy moving forward, especially with Garrett Nussmeier coming back another year. What step can he take forward? And will they utilize him more? They need to. Jalen Crawford, I think he could potentially be one of the best DBs in the country. Like, this man made so many lists this past year, just consistently, like PFF, consistently being rated as one of the highest guys. He's going to be something special. And he's only a freshman this year. You know what I'm saying? That's the scary part with Jalen. Like, this scratching the surface of his potential. All right, next up on this list, I want to mention Kelvin Hill. He obviously transferred to Georgia Tech. He was really good for UAB this year. He's going to be something special on the flats, when he comes. So that was a really good pickup for them. Duke Watson, another one at the running back spot. I think Louisville had 2 or 3 guys transfer out because of just how crowded that running back room was. Duke Watson was one of those reasons why he was special in his opportunities and showed you what he could do. Another special talent here from Georgia. And then Jaden Ball. Oh, my gosh. They got some talent down there at the running back spot for Florida. And he has a potential chance to be that bell cow back, man. He's physical. He had that big game, and later on in the season. Jaden Ball is that dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? So top 50 ranking, not bad. I think he can definitely surpass that moving forward. One more guy I want to shout out, Anthony Knapp, offensive lineman. Started as a true freshman for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish team that made the national championship. Got hurt, didn't play the final game. But to do that as a freshman, kudos to him. Next up, got to give some love, obviously, to Nate Frazier, man. Trevor Etienne, dealt with injury this year, had a suspension early on. First game of the year, he cooks Clemson defense. It was player of the game, one of the reasons why Georgia won. I think he's ready for his opportunity, especially with Trevor Etienne going to the draft. He should be that main back. Obviously, Georgia does it by committee, so they'll probably bring in a couple guys to go along with him, but he should cook. Cameron Fountain was another name I really like this year out of USC. Very underrated guy. Could be very good going forward. It's the Fowler Green, man. Him and Peter Woods next year potentially could be something special, man. So Clemson, I don't know what it is. They know how to do the defensive line position, and they know how to develop that position as well. All right, now I want to talk about Jalen Mbakwe. Obviously, he's seen it for a little bit, but this next year is a very important year for him. He actually entered the transfer portal, decided to take his name out, coming back again for Alabama. What step can he take forward along with Xavier Brown? How good can that defense be next year? That's going to be a telltale sign. If he's on the field and he's balling, look out. Another really good one, Bryce Young. I like the year that he had also with Notre Dame. They dealt with some injuries, but he was obviously a constant. Same with Aiden Banfield for North Carolina. 2 really good players, man, at the offensive line spot. Just grimers. Now, an underrated pick here at number 90. Draylon Miller. He was so electric when he got the ball in his hands. Now there's no Travis, no number 1 guy. He should get way more playing time going forward. And should it be a more featured part of the offense. Can't wait to see his development. Cash Cleveland, another one, true freshman at the center spot, a very important spot on the football field. Started and played at a high-end level. I think he's another one to watch for going forward. Now, when I said I thought this list was crazy, this is what I mean. How in the hell is Ryan Ringo 98? Come on, bro. He had a bigger impact than that. I know they had Matthew Golden, Isaiah Bond, but come on, bro. Ryan Ringo was, when those guys was banged up, he was a go-to target, man. That one right there, I don't understand. A little bit too low for me, and for my liking for Ryan Wingo, definitely deserves to be higher. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one I will point out as well. I also will point out Jalen Crawford getting a little higher, 31, probably around 25. You know what I'm saying? For him, definitely think he deserves to be up. Colin Simmons would be my number 2, humbly. Those are some changes I definitely would make as well. And Michael Hawkins, I don't know if I'll put him in the top 100. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really show a lot. You know what I'm saying? Had, one game or two, but to be a top 100 player, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all. That's my thoughts. Comment below your thoughts on the top 100 true freshmen.